Yo, we up in the ring, breaking news with a jab. Ringside Ramble got the stories you grab. Video clips front row, you won't miss the brawl. Big hits, KOs, we got it all.
Welcome back to Ringside Ramble. It's me, Niall, here bringing you all the latest news, views, and breakdowns from around the world of professional boxing. In this video, I'm going to be giving my reaction to the news that broke on Saturday night during the DAZN broadcast that the body snatcher Dillian Whyte will make his long-awaited return to the ring on December 15th, if only a few weeks from now, as he faces Ebenezer Tete, the Ghanaian, in Gibraltar. So yeah, I'll be discussing my kind of reaction to that, giving my thoughts, and what maybe next for Dillian Whyte, down the line if he beats Tete, which he should. Being honest, for being honest with ourselves, what a roadmap for Dillian Whyte could look like as he aims to get his career back on track following a long period of inactivity. So yeah, before we get into today's video, please don't forget, I'd really appreciate it if you could subscribe to the channel if you like the content. It'd help me out a lot. I'd be so grateful. Give this video a like, share it, follow us over on X. I'll have the handle down below. And yeah, if you like what you see, please like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. It'll help me out a lot, and I'll be so thankful for that. So yeah, let's get into the video then. Dillian Whyte, as I say, returns December 15th. Ebenezer Tete in Gibraltar. Of course, he's fought in Gibraltar before. He won the Alexander Povetkin rematch there after he got knocked out in the first fight at Matchroom's fight camp. So yeah, Dillian Whyte is back. Always a divisive character, controversial character, but he's always must see, really, whether you like him or don't like him. And I wouldn't be a huge fan of Dillian Whyte personality wise outside the ring. But when he fights, you have to tune in, really. He's just one of those, he's must see TV, even though he's not really world class. He's not an elite heavyweight, but he is exciting with the attributes that he brings. He's technically kind of sloppy. He's a bit of a plotter. He's uncoordinated at times. He leaves himself open offensively and defensively. But he has really, really big power. Across that left hook is a monster of a left hook. It's so destructive. He's durable, he's game, and he always comes to fight and comes to win. So yeah, he's back now. Of course, made his return to the ring, his long-awaited return to the ring in March of this year, following a 2-year layoff for a drug suspension. He came back and fought Christian Hamer. Of course, Christian Hamer, veteran heavyweight himself, shared the ring with world-class heavyweights in the past. So it was a bit of a bizarre comeback for Dillian Whyte this year. It came out of nowhere. Only a couple of weeks beforehand, it was announced that he'd be fighting in my home nation of Ireland in Castlebar in County Mayo on the undercard of Thomas Carty, who he manages. So yeah, he made his return to the ring against Hamer. A decent name to have in your record, but Hamer was poor that day. He looked really poor. Whyte himself looked poor, which was understandable after such a long layoff. And yeah, Whyte got the job done. He got the job done as after Christian Hamer's corner pulled him out in 3 rounds. So yeah, there's not much to go on that, to be quite honest with you. A comeback, a bizarre comeback in the surreal setting of a hotel in the rural west of Ireland, in front of only a couple of hundred people, maybe, if that. But yeah, Whyte made his return to the ring, and it's a pity that he never kind of. It's we've had to wait till December to see him out again. I mentioned the inactivity already from the suspension, the controversial drug suspension from 2022 after he fought Jermaine Franklin. Yeah, it's not good, especially at his age, to have so much inactivity. 36 years old. I know for heavyweight it's not that old, but at this stage of his career, after a relatively long career, you can't afford to be that inactive, that often. So, he's back now at the end of the year to close out 2024. He has a fight with Ebenezer Tete, and it's a fight he should win. I mentioned he didn't look good against Christian Hammer. That's understandable. He has his frailties, he has his vulnerabilities that we mentioned. He's sloppy, he's a bit of a plotter. He leaves himself open. But Dillian Whyte, if he's anywhere near, you know, his B, C, or D game should be Ebenezer Tete, to be honest with you. That's no disrespect. We seen, of course, Ebenezer Tete familiar to kind of the European boxing fans from his fight with Daniel Dubois, which he lost. He was stopped by Dubois. No shame in that at all. Of course, Dubois, current heavyweight champion of the world, so there's no shame in that. He's been on a winning streak since then, and he can punch, but he's fought opponents nowhere near the level of a Dillian Whyte, even at this stage of his career. They're all kind of domestic level names in Africa, Ghana, where he's from, and he's a poor fighter. He's very slow feet, very slow hands, leaves himself so open, doesn't move his head. Yeah, he's a very, very poor heavyweight. As I say, he has power in his hands. I believe it's 20 KOs and 23 wins, if I'm not mistaken. So he has power, but yeah, Dillian Whyte, even at this stage, his B, C, D, even E game should get past Ebenezer Tete. I don't expect Tete to cause him any problems whatsoever. Even if White looks poor, which he probably will, come inactive, being inactive, even since the March fight has come back. And, it's just a stay busy fight for Dillian Whyte, hopefully, shake the ring rust off that undoubtedly is there. Shake that ring rust off to close out the year, get him a run out, and hopefully he stays active in 2025 because, as I say, he's must see. He's an exciting heavyweight. No matter what you think of him outside the ring, he is a very exciting heavyweight to watch. So, hopefully he can kind of stay active and get back to near his best. And there is exciting fights to be made out there. If we're talking about a roadmap towards back towards world level, he's not near challenger for world titles. Obviously, next if he beats Tete, but there is some interesting fights out there from first fight I was thinking of when I heard he was coming back is Hughie Fury. I think Hughie Fury and Dillian Whyte make sense. Of course, it's been talked about before. It's an interesting clash of styles. You've got Hughie Fury, the slick back foot boxer, picks his shots, counter punching. Dillian Whyte, the bulldozer, come forward aggressive. I think the styles could mesh really well there. And I think they're about that really similar stages of their career. Of course, Hughie Fury, younger man than Dillian Whyte, has had his setbacks against world class opposition like Dillian Whyte. No shame in that. He lost to uh, Povetkin, he lost to Joseph Parker for a world title very early on in his career. So there's no shame in that. Undoubtedly has quality there. He is the better boxer than Dillian Whyte. But, he's launched his own comeback now over the past 12 months that he's aiming now to get back to the top table of the heavyweight division, and he feels he can do it. And I think their paths are meeting at the perfect time. I think it'll be a real crossroads fight for both men. I think the loser, there's no way back for the loser of that fight at any sort of world class level. I think, as I mentioned, it'd be a fascinating styles clash, and they're both at the same stages of their career. They're not ready to be challenging world class fighters yet. So I think it'll be a big domestic clash too, to get that done in London or in the UK, anywhere it'd do well business wise as a headliner somewhere in one of the smaller venues. I really do think it'll do well. So Hughie Fury versus Dillian Whyte, I think makes a lot of sense. There's another domestic opponent that I think it makes sense. And if I was Frank Warren and Queensbury, I'd be chomping at the bit to get Dillian Whyte in there with Moses Itauma. Of course, Moses Itauma, the young superstar in waiting in the heavyweight division. I think Moses Itauma has gone right to the top. Still so young, undefeated, passing every test with flying colours. I think this kid has everything it takes to be a world champion. But I think Dillian Whyte would be a really logical step up for him next if they can get that made. I'd feed Dillian Whyte to Moses Itauma all day of the week, twice on a Sunday, and I think Moses Itauma beats him. I really do think he beats him. Yeah, too young, too fresh, too sharp, too hungry. I think it'll be a great name for Moses Itauma to have on his record. I think this version of Moses Itauma beats this version of Dillian Whyte without a doubt. Without a doubt. Yeah, and I think it'll be a good name at this stage of his career to have on his record. I really do. Of course, Moses Itauma fighting Dempsey McKean on the Usyk Fury 2 undercard. So, a week after each other, if they can both come through their tests, White come through Tete, Moses Itauma come through McKean, get that made for 2025. I think it'll make perfect sense. I really do. So there's another option for Dillian Whyte. In his kind of roadmap in 2025. So yeah, as I say, he's not ready for world title step ups yet, in my opinion. You know, he needs to get past head down. He needs to build his way back up. Of course, there's names at the bottom of the world rankings. There's like the likes of Justice Uni, Guido Vianello, and names like that. Even a Murat Gassiev, who holds world rankings with governing bodies, strangely, that'd be a really entertaining fight, Gassiev and Dillian Whyte. So yeah, that'd be a good fight to make. Gassiev and Whyte will be absolute violence while it lasted. So there is interesting names there for Dillian Whyte, even at this stage of his career, but below world level. And if he's anywhere near his best, he'd give a lot of kind of fringe world level operators a really tough night's work. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see who's next for Dillian Whyte as he makes his return to the ring on December 15th against Ebenezer Tete in Gibraltar, live on the zone, as he aims to get his career back on track and head towards world titles again. Challenging for world titles and hopefully pick up that one that has eluded him so far to date in his career. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to the return of the body snatcher in a couple of weeks' time now. Not long to wait against Tete. So, yeah, that's just my quick reaction to the news that he's back. Dillian Whyte is back December 15th, Ebenezer Tete in Gibraltar. Let us know what you think in the comments. Are you excited to see Dillian Whyte back? How highly do you rate Dillian Whyte? Do you think he can get back on course to a world title or even win one? Would he beat a Daniel Dubois, say, for a world title? Let us know what you think in the comments. And as I mentioned at the start of the video, please don't forget, drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you like what you see, follow us over on X, always great content to engage with over there. And yeah, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. And until next time, speak again and take care.